Hi, you're here today with Herbert Sweet for Days from the Good Old Bajan Cooking Group on Facebook. Yes, I am here to demonstrate to you today how to prepare breadfruit cocoa and saltfish. Breadfruit is a delicacy in Barbados. We Bajans love it fried, we love it roast, we love it in pies, we love it mashed, we love it in any way, form, or fashion. Breadfruit is so delicious. Breadfruit is plentiful in Barbados, very plentiful all year round. We just love breadfruit. Bajans love our breadfruit. It's not a Bajan that will tell you that they do not love breadfruit. We love breadfruit with a passion. Breadfruit is good for your cholesterols. It helps to lower your cholesterols. If some of you do not know, breadfruit helps lowers cholesterols, and it is very tasty. You just mix it. Sometimes we want it on a plate with just little butter and little pepper, and that's all we need. Sometimes we want it with a little saltfish sprinkle at the top. We don't need it mashed. Sometimes we want it mashed, especially if it's a yellow meat breadfruit. Yellow meat breadfruit is very tasty and delicious. So today, I'm going to show you how to prepare our breadfruit and doing breadfruit cocoa and saltfish. I'm going to start off with boiling my saltfish. I need to get all the salt out of the saltfish. So I'm putting in water, put it on the stove, boil out the saltfish, to boil out the salt out of the saltfish. So I need the salt out of the saltfish, so I'm boiling the salt out of the saltfish. Here you see me prepared my breadfruit. My breadfruit is in my pot. This will boil now, and I will cover this, and this will cook to how I want it cooked. Don't want to overcook it. You don't want it too soft, because I remember that I'm going to mash it. So this will be my mashed breadfruit. So my breadfruit is on. It's yellow meat breadfruit that we have today. So my breadfruit is on. Now we are ready to make our gravy. We have prepared our pan. We add our chives. We add our garlic. We add our green seasoning. We're going to saute this. We're going to just saute this right now. We're going to let this saute before we add our saltfish. And give the pan just a few shakes. Let everything settle. We're going to saute before we add our saltfish. Just going to let it saute a little bit, that the onions will cook a little bit. Here we can see our breadfruit is all finished. Remember to add your salt to your breadfruit when you're cooking it. So our breadfruit is finished. So I'm just going to lower the heat under this because I don't want it overcooked. So I'm going to lower the heat over it while I prepare my gravy. I will mash this after I finish preparing my gravy. So here I am sauteing the onions and the green seasoning. Tomatoes, I'm not adding tomatoes to this. I have puree 2 tomatoes, so after I get in my saltfish, I would add my tomato to this. I don't want the big chunks of tomatoes, so it's an easier way I do the tomatoes. But I don't like the skin of the tomatoes, so I usually puree and then add it to my gravy. So I will now add my saltfish. My saltfish is frizzled, so I will just add this. I will just add in the saltfish. I will just add the saltfish to this pot. So here I'm adding my saltfish. Adding my saltfish to the pot. And I'm just going to give it a little stir. I'm going to let that saute for a while as well. Here is where I add my hot spoon of blend tomato. When the tomato is blend, it gives it a real nice rich flavor, and it thickens as well when you blend your tomatoes, so leaving them sparkly all over the place. I like it when it's blend. So I blend my tomatoes. You can have your choice of just having them whole. You can have your tomatoes. Here I haven't added my spices yet, because I'm going to let the tomato flavor in this saltfish. So I ain't add my spices yet. So this is what I'm going to add. As you guys know, I love my all-purpose seasoning. This is all-purpose seasoning with garlic and onion and stuff. I love this. It's a Maggi product, and it's an all-purpose seasoning, and this is what I love. I don't cook with salt at all. I use this, and I'm not going to use much of this because as we know that the saltfish already has some salt in it, not a lot, but some salt is in it. So this is what I'm going to use. Guys, if you wish to, you can add some curry powder, a little curry powder to your curry powder, give it a nice flavor as well. So just all-purpose seasoning. You can use at least a teaspoonful of all-purpose seasoning and a teaspoonful of curry powder. And you see my gravy is looking nice and lovely here. And I would just add a little water to this, not much, but a little water I would add to this. But I'm not adding my water as yet, as I need my onions and stuff to be cooked. Because when I add my water, I just want the water to boil a little bit in here, and then I finish with that. So here we go. It's nice, beautiful saltfish. Nice, beautiful saltfish. This is some nice, beautiful saltfish that we are using. Beauties in the saltfish. And I just add some liquid of this. And while I'm letting this saute, because I'm going to lower my stove now. Lower my stove to a medium and let this saute. And then I would add some more water to it. And when I add my water, I'll be good to go. Because I don't need a lot of gravy either, because I don't like a lot of gravy. But you can mix as much water to this as you want to use. So that's my, you can see in my spoon the color is nice, and saltfish is nice. I love the tail of the saltfish, so I usually buy the tail. I think I get a lot of meat off the tail, so I love the tail. Saltfish seems to be very expensive in this time, but this will do for me and my family. So I have my nice saltfish. Please debone your saltfish. Take out all the bones. If you have children, be very careful. Please debone your saltfish, please. Hi guys, I'm about to mash my breadfruit. I have drained my breadfruit. Now I'm going to mash it. Now I have prepared my breadfruit. I have drained my breadfruit, and I'm about to mash my breadfruit. Please leave little water in your breadfruit so that you will get that smooth mash. Leave some water in the breadfruit. Not a lot of water, but a little water to get what you need to get that creamy paste. So here I am mashing my breadfruit, and here I have melted my butter. So you need some melted butter. You need 2 pot spoons of melted butter, and you add that butter gradually to your breadfruit while you're mashing it. The butter is going to give it a creamy texture. So I am mashing my breadfruit now. I Yes, guys, my cocoa is finished. You see that creamy metal cocoa? It is finished now. My cocoa is finished. And my gravy is finished. You see, I don't have all that water in my gravy because I don't like a lot of gravy. And once you have a metal cocoa, you don't need all the water for that soft, nice cocoa. You don't need all that water. So this is enough to place on my plate. Hi, this is your plating of breadfruit cocoa. You see our cocoa is on one side, our saltfish is on the other. We have a nice piece of Christophine, and we have our lovely cucumbers. So this is your plating of breadfruit cocoa. Beautiful Barbados. Join us at Good Old Bajan Cooking Group.